down here. So, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. It was alright. Now that I've cut out as much distractions as I can, I'm actually finding that I'm getting more work done. God is revealing to me myself. I'm trying to work through that with the silent prayer. It's actually hard. Your mind really is your greatest enemy, because my mind just wants to go all over the place. Yeah, JLP is right. This last thing Satan wants is for you to be still and know God. That is so true. That is so true. But the important thing is, I am well aware, whenever something happens. So, yeah, and obviously we're going to talk about crypto and Bitcoin. So, okay, so Riot has finally stopped being retarded, so that's good. And they're basically matching Mara. So, I actually did. So, So first things first, let's get a bunch of things out of the way first. First things first, my game's releasing this Thursday, October 14th. So I'm going to be probably busy with that. I'm still trying to finish up my landscaping Udemy course. There's so much info in there. So I'll probably spend some time changing the maps around for like the next week or so. Yeah, and then I actually want to start reducing. So I don't want to reduce the number of streams, but I think instead what I'll do is my streams will basically just not watch the Greg Menarino videos, which I'll be doing anyway off stream. But I'm just gonna just make my videos a lot shorter because I think that'll be also because people do like short videos, right? Because people just don't have time or they'd rather goof off, right? Either way, they rather spend their time elsewhere is the point. And I actually want to get just, maximize the amount of time I have to, take care of my personal errands or whatever, or, code the game. Yeah, because I actually looked into buying a house yesterday because I was frustrated with the listings for apartments in Tampa, Florida. And I actually want to try to get a place somewhere around like one of the college campuses, but not too close, because I don't want the students to break into my place or play loud music. So I was like, you know what? These rents are starting to go up, so I might as well just buy a house. And it turns out, and I kind of forgotten about this, but yeah, I can get FHA loan, 3.5% down. Yeah, I can easily afford that. And then I'm also gonna probably work with Better Mortgage because they do everything online essentially. And I can probably get a house for like I'm thinking 6 to 10%. 10%'s a lot, but I'm hoping like 5 to 6% down, and then the rest will be carried as a mortgage. And I'll definitely have a lot of money because obviously we can see that crypto's going up. So I'm also just looking into moving logistics and all that, and then not going too far ahead because again the future doesn't exist, and I need to concentrate on today. So all right, but overall, great things. It's been a good week. Like all that stupid pain and crap we've endured, or at least I've endured, we're finally getting our just rewards. So this October will be an extremely powerful month, and depending on what happens, hopefully things will continue to be the same going into November, and then we'll just have to just play it day by day. So, and I'm pretty much fully in. I'm no longer an idiot jet swap because yeah, this thing has continued to go down. So I decided to take a massive loss pulling out of the jet swap pool. I'm just never going to use their piece of shit again. So I'm fully in Binapet and wrapped Bitcoin on mdex.com. So I mean wrapped Binance coin. So that's already gone up. So I'll get all my money back. And then I still have my Cardano, my VeChain, and my Shiba Inu. So I I don't know if I'll actually be a millionaire on the way up, but I'll definitely be a multimillionaire on the way down. So, you know, I just wished that I held my dog before when it was fractions of a penny and then went up, right? When it did that earlier this year, but hey, I know for next time because maybe in the next bull run cycle, Shiba Inu will be the new dog coin, right? Because that'll be worth fractions of a penny. Maybe even baby dog might be worth something. All right, so let's deconstruct this because I actually want to go straight to Burger King right after this. I've got a busy day. I gotta finish watching Jesse Lee Peterson's show. I want to watch more Udemy courses because I still got like How many hours of that left do I have? Let me see. Where's Udemy? I've got 51 minutes, 2 hours, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. I have 6 or 7 hours left. Yeah, I've got a lot. I've got a lot. But, you know, how do you eat an elephant? Right? Eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. All right, so stock markets are doing really well. Crude oil is surging, right? So everything's in, and of course, even yeah, and then of course everything else is up, and Bitcoin, of course, is up. Okay, next thing up is what is the dollar doing? It is up a little bit too, along with bond yields. So Greg Manarino's MMRI index is actually increasing. We're probably getting pretty close to 100, and then basically everyone's now saying inflation will be even bigger than ever before. So a good time to pull out. Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't see how this thing can extend past December or even January, right? I mean, it's gonna be just like 2017. You know, you just dump in end of November, sometime early in December. You know, so yeah, that's just my phone fully charged. Oh yeah, and it'll be nice when I move to Tampa, Florida. I'm gonna have like a nice house. You have to kind of figure out a security situation because the one problem that I am concerned about is people just breaking in and taking my shit, right? Or then killing me, right? And if I have a girlfriend or a wife, right? I mean, she shouldn't be sleeping at my house, right? No premarital sex. But like, you know, they're obviously gonna like, you know, rape my girlfriend and shit, and then probably, you know, blow my head off. So, you know, I kind of need something to, you know, just deter people. But I don't want my house to look like a freaking police state either. So, all right. So Google's not gonna update this week's search trend data. This is gonna be very important until, let's see, today is Monday, right? So I think they don't even show the preliminary data until like Tuesday or definitely by Wednesday. So probably on the Wednesday stream, we'll definitely, because I'm definitely going to be watching this like a hawk now. This is going to tell me a lot of things. Like, let's say it's middle of December and for some crazy reason we haven't dumped all our crypto yet, right? And we're probably a little nervous. If I see that this thing is still down here, that basically means retail doesn't give two shits about Bitcoin. That's actually very bullish. Now, how much of a determining factor? I'm basically going to have to decide, am I willing to gamble everything just on this indicator alone? That's essentially what the question is going to come down to. So I kind of really hope that doesn't happen. But I mean, let's say Bitcoin's at like 200 grand, 150 grand. How could this thing be so low, right? That doesn't make sense to me. But again, people are dumb, so, you know, it's whatever. So Riot blockchain and Mara blockchain are doing extremely well, finally, right? After being suppressed, so is Coinbase. So I actually on Friday, because I was still kind of annoyed with Riot and going to shit while Mara was going up, so I actually did a deep dive on Riot and Mara. So Riot is technically much more profitable than Mara as of like the recent filings. However, Mara is going to have 106,000 Bitcoin Bitcoin mining machines by the end of this year. Riot is going to have only 25-30% of that by the end of this year. They will have 100,000 miners by the end of next year. So Riot is going to be way behind Mara. Now, with that being said, that's not too bad because, you know, if Mara's like $500, Riot will still be like, you know, $400 or something. So, you know, I'll still be able to profit off of my stupid Riot blockchain calls, you know. Then we dump it, and then I'm actually going to start buying puts on Mara because that price is higher. All right, we want to short the stock that's got the highest price because we know everything's going to come crashing down at some point. So I look very forward to, you know, making my millions off of Mara shorts. So let's take a look at the Treasury. So Treasury yields, yeah, the dollar is getting dumped on the bond market, but I think the money is just simply going into, you know, stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, whatever. Like everything is just going into crypto. I mean, you got George Soros in Bitcoin now. So what does that mean? Everybody else is getting in too, right? The same market manipulators are now just coming out into fruition. You know, and I tell you, you got the China coin situation too. So even if the United States and the evil tribal globalist pieces of shit want to ban Bitcoin and heavily regulate it, right? Because that's what they want to do. They really don't want to be doing that because that actually instantly empowers China. One, by cutting off the legs of the Western powers, and number two, you know, they're gonna be doing exactly what communist China is doing, right? Which is ban crypto. Like, like they would just lose even more legitimacy, right? Like the Western powers would just have to now just kind of say, yeah, we're now communists. We're doing exactly what China's doing, and we're just pretending to blame China because we're just trying to distract people. So in that regard, we should be okay on the crypto front. Plus, us cryptocurrency people are actually rich, so obviously we're going to be doing lobbying. I know I will be. All right, but I mean, lobby, it's going to be pretty expensive, so I'm just going to have to look into it after all is said and done. I probably want to have at least a minimum of $1 million in total assets in my life after I pay my retarded taxes, of course. So that's that. But 2 million or more, and then I actually will have a lot of money to work with because let's see, Beefy Finance, because I do have about $93 worth of stablecoin farming on Beefy Finance. I do want to show you this, and I guess we're gonna do that. Okay, yeah. Remember, this thing is a real pain in the ass. Stable coin liquidity pool. So the one that we are interested in is, yes, it is BeltFi. Yeah, this one. They have other good ones too. OmniFarm. But I only want to stick with stable coins that I definitely recognize, which is why I'm in this Belt. So this site is called Belt.fi or Belt Finance. So yeah, Binance Coin, Tether, USDC, which is Coinbase's coin, and then DAI stablecoin, which is on all the major exchanges. I know it's on Gemini, so I know DAI's legit. And I mean, Tether's Tether. I mean, like it endured, Loretta Lynch here in New York. So if you can endure that, you can endure anything. All right. I mean, it's like they're not scrutinizing Tether anywhere near as badly as they did, say, Facebook's Libra coin or whatever their Facebook coin was originally. So, so basically you get zero risk essentially, and you're getting 21.37% APY in your stable coins. So think of it as a 21% interest bearing account on your dollar. So this is where I'm going to be parking pretty much all my money is this. That's why the total value is 41.39 million. We actually go to BeltFi's website. I think they have about a billion with a B or something like that. Pools or something. Okay, yeah. So their site alone has a little under $300 million and $50 million in this other belt. And I actually found out that I actually didn't have to buy each of every single coin, thus increasing my transaction gas fees. Because I like Binance Dollar, which is BUSD. So you can just put everything in here, hit the liquidity button, and then you'll actually get the same belt, 4 belt token. And then, of course, you deposit it into Beefy Finance here. And obviously, this is auto compounding. So you're literally just getting free money like every 8 hours, I think is the average. So this is where, so if I had like $1 million, at the end of 1 year, I would have $213,700. This is before, compounding every day, 3 times a day. All right. So this is how rich people get rich. All right. I'm teaching you these secrets as best I can because of what's to come. All right. I posted a tweet on Twitter and Gab, and I wrote that Fox News and most of the National Republican Party controlled opposition because, yeah, they don't actually do anything. They're just there to distract you and take your shit. It's starting to infect the Republicans now on the state and local level, right? Because I've been watching Baked Alaska streams, and I actually, and he, does real life streams, and I can kind of see, yeah, the degeneracy rot that's infected all, at least here in New York City and everywhere else. It's starting to creep into Tampa. Actually, it's a lot worse than I thought. It's better than most places, but not for long, right? Because nobody's returning to God, and that's because everyone's angry at their parents. So I posted this exact same thing on Gab, and surprisingly, it's got millions of whatever retweets or regabs or whatever you want to call it. So it's an interesting experience, but can't rest on our laurels, right? All right. So Bitcoin is trying to push for 58 grand. That's very good. It's also, I have to, I'll just suffer because I want to open the window because I don't want my windows closed. All right, so Bitcoin's at, yeah, so it's pushing for 58,000. It's going to go way higher. It's going to go for 64,000. I kind of wish I didn't dump my Ledger X October calls because now they're worth a little bit more, but whatever. It was just a little bit of money, so. You know, the puts that I sold on Bitcoin that expire at the end of October, now that thing is declining in price. So that basically means, because I'm already in deep in profit on my puts that were sold, because I sold puts with a strike price of 80,000, so I get all the premium. Now that thing is worth like a lot less, and it's rapidly dying. And let me see, let me go and let me check Ledger X on Chrome. Right now, the bid on it is down to 20,161. I originally sold those puts for 26,400 is the average price. So I basically made $120 profit. Is that right? No, this is 5 digits. So I basically made 6,200. Yeah, that's right. So I made $124 profit right now. It's unrealized, but obviously Bitcoin's gonna go way higher. So let's go back to Brave. So it's very nice. It's very good. You know, in fact, by the end of this month, they're already, because cryptos are already mentioned. I actually saw the tweet or article as well. Yeah, the SEC is expected to approve Bitcoin futures, you know, later this month. So I'm not actually thrilled about that because that just creates more avenues to manipulate crypto. But I mean, on the other hand, demand for crypto is pretty strong right now. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if Greg even mentions that. But it's not going to happen until at least October 18th anyway. So this week will be good. And then we'll see what the George Soroses and the evil elites do once they start approving Bitcoin futures. So anyway, Bitcoin's pushing for 58K. Ethereum's finally coming back. Binance has been hit pretty hard along with other DeFi tokens, but it's actually recovering a little bit, so it'll eventually pop off. Pretty much most altcoins are also under pressure. All right, Shiba Inu is just popping off. I mean, at this point, I don't want to reveal how much money, but my family member and myself, well, I'm rubbing my hands. And this thing is going much, much higher. Much effing higher. So I may have missed the boat on everything else, but Shiba Inu is, you know, is so far doing what I predicted. People who missed the boat on Dogecoin now want to get into, you know, something alternative, right? Shiba Inu is the ideal coin. It's got all the fundamentals. It's listed everywhere, including the major 3 companies, right? Well, it's not on Gemini, but I think they'll put it there. They have to at some point because Coinbase has Shiba Inu. So if Coinbase lists it, Gemini and Kraken here in the US has to list it. Let's see. Binapet's doing really well. I actually bought quite a bit, so I bought this dip very hard, especially when it crashed to like what 3.1 or 3.8. I forgot what it was. So I got all my money back essentially on that. Now I'm deep in profit. MDEX is also doing like spectacular. All right, it's been doing pretty well. In fact, I didn't actually know that at its high was something around $10. So this coin is just much better than Jet Swap. So I call it Jet F word, but I can't say the F word on YouTube. So, but yeah, I mean that's how it goes. So I'll get all the money back that I lost, plus you know whatever, and then you know I'll cash out. I don't know. I think it might be $500,000. I mean, I guess I can reveal that because if I do make whatever, I'm not going to tell you the real number anyway. But I think that's my estimated target. But again, it all depends on how long and how fast everything just starts shooting up in value. And again, as long as this remains slow on Google Trends, and we're going to check US and worldwide, right? But I'm not going to check it now because I don't want to keep clicking. There's no point because it's already low, and this week's data is just starting to be formulated, you know? We'll see what we can do. Because remember, you think you're going to make a lot of money on the way up, which you will. You and I will, right? The real money is when you start shorting this. And then by then, the SEC has already approved plenty of Bitcoin futures. So what do you think the evil rich are going to do? They're going to like dump the shit out of everything and make their profit. That's why oil is going, crude oil over here is going up, right? Because all the big banks have very large leverage positions in crude oil. So they're going to manipulate crude oil upwards. And that's exactly what we're seeing. All right, you can't fight the rich, so what you have to do is like piggyback on their evil ways, get all their money, and then try to use that money to influence your local politics and try to get people back to returning to God. Because this country's going to hell in a handbasket. All right, but we don't have to go down with the ship, or at least we'll be well off if the ship does go down, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is kind of interesting. There was a slight dip in the Federal Reserve balance sheet, and then they went back up. Okay, we're definitely going to need to look at this and keep an eye on this. Because if this actually starts trending down, that could actually be a problem. Because that basically means the stock markets are going to hell. But it could also be because everyone is being being exposed for insider trading at the Federal Reserve, right? They're owning the stocks and assets that the Federal Reserve also happens to be buying. So, and of course, nothing's going to happen. So maybe that might be a part of it too. Okay. All right. So we got this stable coin quad bundle on Beefy Finance is definitely where I want to go. There's other more APYs as well. But I don't like the fact that the total value is kind of low. I mean, you could maybe do this UST and BUSD. That might be okay. But, I know these coins. These are all vetted. They're all stable. And that includes Tether for the most part, right? So I'd rather just take the slightly lower APY and then just simply put... Remember, if you're putting in 500 grand, $1 million, $2 million, I mean, you have to think more about safety rather than, I need to maximize my return. When you only have like $50, yeah, I mean, go for it, right? Who cares? It's $50. But $2 million, $10 million, yeah, you're going to want to use something stable. Okay? You don't want a bank run here. So I got a bunch of things I got to think about too eventually. Don't want to get into real estate investing again because now, if I can buy buildings for very little down, I got large cash reserves. That basically means I can buy all the real estate in Tampa. All right? I also will need to hire nomadcapitalist.com to set up my offshore company and then pay very little taxes. Because I don't actually want to pay zero taxes. That's just going to piss off the IRS. And I'm pretty sure the FBI is looking for excuses to put me in jail or whatever. So, and I don't mind. Just pay, 5-10% is a very reasonable tax rate. It's when I have to pay 40-50% that I'm like, you're a fucking piece of shit, all right? And then I get mad. Well, I'm not supposed to get mad, but, All right, so I covered Beefy Finance, I covered cryptos. So this week should be a very good week. In fact, I'm just thinking it'll push to 64 grand by the end of this week, and then we'll have to see, because when the futures start coming out, that could actually put some pressure on crypto. But again, at least for the next medium term, I don't want to say short term, but for the medium term, right? Crypto is going to be on an extremely high upward trajectory. Look, because again, this Bitcoin interest is just way too low. But again, we need this week's data, so we won't find that out until at least tomorrow, but most likely Wednesday. And then we'll obviously reevaluate then. Southwest shares slide after mass cancellations. Good, because these fucking asshole airlines are pieces of shit. Blame staffing shortage. Yeah, because they're firing their employees probably for not getting the vax as well. Good. These fucking airlines are doing the work of Satan, so I hope they all go fucking bankrupt. Pieces of evil shit. I can't actually say anything more because so I don't want to get banned or shadow banned. But good. Fuck these airlines. They're acting. They're actually taking the initiative to enforce all this tyrannical bullshit on us, and we have to bail them out. My fucking tax dollars and your tax dollars are being forced to diverted to support these losers. I fucking hate them so much. So good. Fucking pieces of shit. All these fucking airlines. But, yeah. What are you gonna do, right? So let me see. Bitcoin bears risk getting, let's see. Alright, so let's just take a look at this if we got... BitMEX CEO predicts Bitcoin will be legal tender in 5 countries by 2022. Yeah, that is a kind of old article, I think, but that's good. And well, it's by 2022, so 5 is a pretty modest goal. South Korean opposition set to tackle controversial crypto tax law. I don't care about that. Magnum Carlsen awarded the NFT trophy after a tournament win. Nice. Chinese blockchain. I actually like both Hikaru and Magnum. I call him Magnum Carlsen, but Magnus Carlsen. I really like them both. They're really good chess players. I mean, obviously they're like grandmasters. Chinese blockchain project BSN expands to Turkey and Uzbekistan. Well, fantastic. Okay, Cardano NFT trading card game duelist keen to launch IDO on Occam Razor. Very good. So Cardano DeFi will be a thing. Yeah, I'm curious to see what DeFi products will come out on Cardano. That'll be really, really nice. But the problem is, by the time it comes out, like we're gonna already be dumping crypto. So, but it'll be good for after. What was I looking at? It'll be good for after Bitcoin 100K price target returns as Bitcoin price breaks out bull pennant. Yeah, of course. I mean, this thing is going straight up. Bill Miller, billionaire, advocates for Bitcoin but doubtful on altcoins. Yep, whatever. U.S. debt ceiling crisis. Okay, no, that's bullshit. The debt ceiling will always go up. I don't know. This is why I tell everyone to turn off the fucking retarded news. Right? Just set your thing to Uganda or some foreign country where you can't read the language. Right? Because it's all noise and distraction. Every single year, they always. Okay, because if the government shuts down, they all lose money. So of course, what do you think the politicians are going to do? They don't want to willingly lose money? Of course not. They're going to pass whatever they need. Like if they wanted to pass a law where they would confiscate your firstborn child and then sell it to the Taliban, of course the Democrats and Republicans would fucking do it, right? Because if it's a choice between that and losing all their jobs, yeah, they're going to pass a law. Got to change the autofocus. They're going to pass a law to confiscate your firstborn child and then give it to the Taliban before they'll ever take a freaking pay cut, right? And I'm talking about like say 99% of our pieces of shit in the government. You got like 1 to 5%. I'm afraid of the elected officials that will actually have a conscience and actually take the pay cut. Unfortunately, they're 1 to 5%. That's why you never hear about them. And number 2, they never get anything done. They're just basically there so that our controlled opposition government will just pretend and say, see, we allow opposition, we're a free country. No, it's not. It's a lie. Right? Just go look at what's happening in Australia. They're trying to spread that shit to everywhere else. Right? And hopefully we will resist that. And the only way we can truly resist that is to get everyone to return to God, return to their Father, and forgive their mom and dad and confront their fear. Because that's literally the only source of all of our problems. Alright, so I don't see anything too crazy. So, yeah, I'm just enjoying today. Hopefully Riot. In fact, I'm actually going to... Let me see. Yeah. In fact, Riot is like severely repressed. So hopefully this thing will get a short squeeze on Riot because this short interest is like 20%. And then, and then Mara, hopefully... Mara is also shorted too. By like 15%. So hopefully these two will get hit pretty hard. Now again, the problem is those Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin future ETF. Yeah, I'm really not liking this. Actually. Block 5 halter Bitcoin futures ETF. Throws stop to Bitcoin liquidity ETFs. Yeah. Okay, Vault crypto industry. Yeah. Now, I forgot which... Yeah, I was reading a Cointelegraph article. It's obviously buried. But basically, there's a bearish case and a bullish case. The bullish case is that when the ETFs come out, the futures are selling at a premium based on the commodities, the CME group, right? What's that? Chicago commodities thing? CME futures Bitcoin. What does CME stand for? Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Oh, that's their name. So basically, the premiums here for these calls on Bitcoin are actually very high, much higher than they should be. Yeah. So that basically means, and then the article basically said that what they're going to do is the institution is going to do is they're going to do a carry trade. They sell Bitcoin futures on CME, and then they immediately buy Bitcoin at spot price. The price differential. Right, so right now, Bitcoin's at 57,500, right? And then you can sell the same future here in October for like say $59,000. So they sell at 59,000 on CME Group, and then they buy immediately Bitcoin at spot price, which is 57,500. That $1,500 differential, they pocket it risk free. Well, essentially risk free. I think the only way that they lose is if Bitcoin crashes in price. I think that's what happens. Yeah, I think that's what happens because remember, you're buying Bitcoin at 57,500. You obviously don't want Bitcoin to go down to like, $10,000 because now you're taking like a 47 grand loss, 47,500. So there is actually so now that I think about it, yeah, there's actually a pretty huge incentive to not, screw everything up. All right, especially since we know that retail normies don't even care about crypto, right? George has been traveling around the country from Cryptos R Us, and he's been asking random people. And he went to a car show, and they all said, "No, we're not investing in Bitcoin." Like literally no one. And he only met one person that was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of interested. Tell me more," or something like that. And it wasn't even that much. So, yeah. Alright, anyway, this video has been 31.5 minutes. I want to get to Burger King. I want to get some food. I mean, it's now lunchtime, so. But I mean, I don't mind. I could use some air. Then I got a lot of work to do. So I'll see you all tomorrow after the market's closed. Just going to try to do a brief streams. And yeah, because I gotta get to work. I keep working, so, But things will be good. Once the, game comes out, my life should get a lot easier, at least when enforcing trademarks. And interestingly enough, the asshole that was taking my Dragonflare Studios name on YouTube immediately changed his name once he logged on because it's just a kid. Obviously, he's playing Roblox. I'm not happy that he did Dragonflare. He's still using the word, but whatever. I'll deal with it all later. When the time comes. I mean, again, the problem is lack of fame for my products, right? Because everyone was calling themselves Coca-Cola, right? It wouldn't. That wouldn't fly because everyone knows who Coca-Cola is, right? All right, thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. And you didn't miss the boat, but the boat has already kind of just left the harbor already. So you're basically going to have to take like a speedboat to get on the cruise ship because this thing's going up, at least for this week, I think. We'll have to see what happens next week once the SEC starts approving actual Bitcoin future ETFs. If they do it next week, because technically it hasn't happened yet, but I mean, yeah. All right, thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Or after the market's closed. Or next week if you're only watching these videos.